Good morning. Welcome to the Palooka Watch channel. Check that out. This is an AliExpress special here. It was $71. Crazy. I was on there weeks ago. I think it was October 8th was the date. I know that because I saw the receipt. And I picked up a couple of Redunes that are on the way. You guys will see them when they get here. But then I ran across this and I thought, what the? There's a lot of options on this. It's an NH35, I believe, in here, even though you don't see a date option. And for the price, I just could not get over it. Crazy. Now, the band is something special here. I made the band this weekend. It's my first time ever. It's horsehide. I didn't get the stitching perfect because I have to work on that. You know, I didn't go exactly the same way every time, but for the first time ever, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty thick. Horsehide. My pal Chad gave me a nice hunk of this. I'll be able to make like 8 or so of these. I only poked a few holes in it because I only need it for me. I originally made it. It was another case on it, so I have to make one more hole, and I'm going to trim this end off here. And by the way, if you're a leather person, I talked to Chris. I need to. I want to treat the back side of this. I've bought several NATO straps. I hate the idea of paying full retail on those things because they're so easy to make. But I'd like to treat the back of this. I've seen it where it has like almost like a waxiness to it, and it makes it a little bit more water resistant. This strap is a 20 mil, and this watch takes a 22, as you can see. I ordered 22 millimeter buckles. They are coming, and then I'll make a bunch of those. Yeah. So this has what you would call the life preserver plexiglass bezel insert. It's only loomed at the pip. It's 200 meter water resistant, screw down crown, and what I would call super legible. Let me wipe that off. AliExpress is interesting. It's tough to navigate in a way because yesterday I was going to do a video and I saw a version of this and I thought it was the one I ordered. It actually had the NH36 in it with a day date on the wheel, and the minute hand was red, which for a dive watch you'd probably want the red hand more so. But again, I think this is only $71. The other one's basically $80, like $78 and change. And I went there, I was going to buy it. Look at this. It's got I didn't even notice that. It has the signed Seiko crown. It is a Seiko movement. It has kind of a cushion case to it. You can see that. Let me break out the calipers for you. All right, let's find out what this is actually. So the case... Case measures 42. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. Let me pull this strap down a little bit here. Okay, looking through the camera. 15.3. It's pretty thick. Lug to lug is short on this watch. I discovered. Trying to look through the camera at the same time. 45.5. So this would wear on a smaller wrist real well. Again, I've got a 7 5/8 inch wrist. Man, it's a bummer that this... I mean, I'm happy that it's 22. I like a 22 millimeter bandwidth because I think it looks tough. Everything in my life's got to be tough, right? And this is the ultimate Palooka watch right there. I mean, I've been playing with the idea of coming up with some logo, and because this watch and the other ones I was just talking about come with a sterile dial, I believe modders are able to pull these like the whole movement out and apply their own logo. I could probably have a logo made that tiny with a sticker or something. Check the Lume. I will include a little Lume video and some Lume stills. It looks great. But imagine putting your own little logo on there. So listen, the reason I'm showing you this watch is you don't have to spend a bunch of money. It's got a sapphire crystal, 200 meter water resistance, screw down, locking crown, which is what gives you that. It's got a plain back on it, but it's a screw down back. just, if you're not into prestige, if you're not into like some name brand thing to look cool around a bunch of people, and you just want a legible, tough watch, if you're a blue collar guy, so you have to unscrew this here, and then let me just see if it's got a ghost. Yes, so there's 2 clicks, which means there's a date movement inside of this, but it hacks as well. You see the second hand stopped? This, to me, is reminiscent of a vintage kind of military watch with modern upgrades. Again, with 200-meter water resistance and screw-down locking crown and crazy lume. And, I mean, it's just, I don't see how you beat that. You know what I'll do? In the description, I will find the link to this watch on AliExpress. I got here this way, so I woke up this morning, I checked my email, I'm up before the sun rose, because I got to get on my day. I'm behind on that project, and a lot of drama last few days. I want to do a video on drama on my drive to work this morning for you. So I'll put a link to this, you guys can check it out. It took a couple weeks to get here, which isn't bad. Let me zoom in on this for you. I think that's just the lens. It looks like there could be, can't tell on the, again, keep in mind, $71. So, matter of fact, even though it appears to kind of line up here, this bezel, good bezel action. There is playback. There's a little wiggle on this, which, again, $71. I'm not going to worry about that too much, because this is a tough watch. By the way, weight is always a thing. I'm moving this on purpose. Weight, when you pick something up and you feel some weight to it, it usually will denote some quality. When I bought those Mumbai specials, I wasn't too stoked with them. As soon as I took them out of the package, see, that's a little bit off on there. That's disappointing. I would suspect that it's a 50-50 shot on these, whether or not your bezel will line up perfectly. And keep in mind, you can buy a replacement bezel insert. On AliExpress, they sell everything. And I'm learning this now. I'm not big on spending a bunch of time on those types of sites. But this morning I noticed I can get a case like this. And those Mumbai specials had real Seiko movements in them. So I think I'm going to buy one of these cases and find a cool dial and put together my own little watch with these locking crown screw down back cases, and I'll have a few cool watches that I will have made. Well, I'm not making a watch, I'm assembling a watch. There's a difference when you just put a bunch of parts together. I love the knurling on the edge of that bezel. I love the knurling on the crown. That's just, it's tough guy tool watch stuff. That's all this is, man. You know what this watch does? It tells the time. It tells you what time it is. That's all you need. That's all you're supposed to really need. Without all the bells and whistles. Let me show you the Lume, and then I'll come back real quick and I'll show you how it came packaged. Yeah, the Lume is cool. Only at the pip on the bezel. But you get that, look at the reflection off of that, it was like lucite or plexiglass, whatever that bezel's made out of. That looks cool, man. It's definitely legible. And you can see that secondhand sweeping. Nice. All right, so the packaging was not anything spectacular. It didn't come in a box like AliExpress or Redune or any of those other ones. It came like this. And then inside this plastic bag here was a box. And inside the box was I thought this was kind of neat, you know, red, white, and blue, very patriotic. Not metal keepers, but that's okay. I'm not going to use this thing anyhow. Likely, as soon as I saw this, I went, oh, that's a fat band. It's going to be a 22 millimeter lug. And then you pull this out. And then you pull this out. Like I'm doing this in reverse order for you. I showed you the watch first. And then you pull this out. And then you got this box here, which took me a few seconds to figure out how to open, because you got to get a fingernail underneath this thing and crack it open. And then in here was this tissue paper. And then in here was this plastic bag, which the watch was in. So that's it. This container will come in handy for storing a watch parts, whatever. So I'll use that. It's useful. And that is it. So hopefully a quick video for you. And yeah, hey, listen, I'm showing off my first ever watch band. I'm going to get better at this. I was very mindful of what I wanted. This is what you would call a Zulu single pass. NATO would have the double pass, which is what this is. You know what? Let's see what this inexpensive watch looks like on the band they sent. How's that sound? The things I do for you. Because I care. Let's see what it looks like here. There we have it. Let's put it on. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't like nylon, but you can see, hey, those people over there, I guess they just have super tiny wrists, because there's not much room here for me to insert this excess. Yeah, and you guys know I'm not a fan of nylon on my wrist. Let me just give you a couple more angles right quick of the leather again. This, by the way, let me show you one I bought so you can see the difference in thickness. Okay, so you can see this one here is the store-bought. I think you might be able to read this. Benchmark Strap Company. This has a coating on the back, so I have to figure that out. It might just be oil. I can just do that. You can see I cut off the excess that would make it a NATO. It has the PVD coated, which this is real metal, just has a black coating on it. These are what I bought, by the way, in 22 millimeter. And you can see the stitching here, you know, far superior. Well, you know, I mean, it's neater than mine, no doubt about it. But look at the thickness of the leather, the difference. I want to put the thickest piece of leather I can on the watch. All right, this just, it works, but it always felt flimsy to me, and they're all like that. All these, and you're spending, I think, the best deal you can get on a decent leather NATO / Zulu. You know, you're $14 to $30 in that range. Tend to be around $17 or so. The buckles aren't super cheap. You know, it's like here's usually a couple bucks, and these are whatever. You could buy a full set on Etsy for $5 to $8. I forget. They're in that range. And then if you have leather already, if you're making other things, you'll have enough scrap. So you can basically assemble one yourself for less than $10. You've made it yourself, and it's better. And I was playing with this. So I wrapped it around twice here, or I wrapped it around once there. First time ever, saddle stitching. I don't think it's terrible. I'll be happier when I get better at it and I can make it more consistent. There's a whole lot of leather things coming now. I'm going to redo my wallet, which is of my own design. It's very hard. My design on a wallet doesn't exist. You can't just buy it. So who knows? Maybe somebody will want to buy one once in a while, and they're not going to be inexpensive. But they're going to be the coolest trucker wallet out there as far as the design goes. So this is a little long right now, but I wanted to show you what this looks like from here. Look at that. Just the thickness of that leather, it just looks better to me. when you're looking down at your watch. It just looks substantial. It looks like somebody cared. And this is horsehide, Horween, chrome tanned leather. That's what I was told. So that is it. You guys have a great day. Be good to one another. I will catch you in the next one.